Adam, why did I have to get up at 3 a.m. today?
Because I'm taking you to Alaska.
Yes, we are headed to Vancouver in order to get on.
A Disney cruise. We're headed to Vancouver, British Columbia, up in the North Canada area,
It's
but
not North Canada, but okay.
to get on a Disney cruise.
This is our first international flight post chair.
Yeah,
So this is going to be interesting. This is our longest flight so far at 6 hours, and which is a little bit longer than California. We are flying first class. I got an amazing deal on first class, and so we are doing first class both ways. So I'm excited about that,
yeah,
especially
see
for
how
this
that
long
goes.
flight.
Yeah,
But yeah, we are. I'm tired. Like I'm really tired. We had
yeah,
to leave our house at 3:30, but I can sleep on the plane. And right now we're in the United Club Lounge because since this is an international flight and we're flying first class, we get access to the lounge, which is lovely. And I just had some fake eggs, the kind of eggs they make in the buffet at Cabanas. It's the same thing. So I just had some eggs and tomatoes, and I have a coffee.
yeah. I
And
had some juice and just like a muffin, so because I really didn't want to fill my stomach up, because I didn't want because it's a long haul flight. I'm not sure how it's going to um, affect my legs and stuff. So we'll see.
so we did check, and they do have, in terms of doing a long flight, they do have a
Aisle chair
aisle chair on the
on the plane.
plane to help you get to the bathroom. It was unclear whether this is the kind of plane where the two bathrooms connect and become one bathroom to be accessible,
But
or if we're just going to have to be um,
strategic.
strategic. As it turns out, this plane did not have an accessible bathroom, so the flight attendants actually held the curtain so that Adam could go to the bathroom with the door open. Either way, we'll make it work, and so that's going to be an interesting challenge.
Yep, yep.
And I think the bathrooms that are semi-accessible are in the back of the plane, and of course we're in the front of the plane, so that'll be fun
Yeah,
too.
we'll see. We'll see.
So we'll see.
Because I'm in a wheelchair, I have to check my uh, wheelchair at the check-in desk, and then also when you get to the gate, because they have to tag it and everything else. So once it gets to the gate, always try, if possible, speak to a ground crew that's going to be handling it, so they can let them know your concerns and things like that. Always get there a little bit early, like we always recommend. That way, all your issues and all your concerns will be alleviated before you hand over your legs.
If you're a regular to our channel, you may know that on our last flight, it was with JetBlue, and they broke Adam's wheelchair. And we literally just got it back about what, a week or two ago?
Yeah, about 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
so it
So
took 2 full months and a week, I think, for them to get it back to us. And so this is now the next flight.
second try, we'll see what happens. Hopefully,
So, a couple things. We made sure that Adam has the airport form printed out and attached to his chair. We do both. We do it two-sided, and one side has the airlines
information.
information. Like so, well, not each. Many airlines have their own form online that you can fill out about your chair. And then, in addition, the maker of his chair, Will, has a airline information sheet that
For
you
how to
can.
lift it and take it out of like free will mode and all that, battery capacity, weight, and all that on there. So
Yeah, so we will. So that is attached to the chair. We will ask to speak to someone from the gate crew about how to handle his chair before he leaves. We used to do that, and we got a little lazy about it, I'll be honest. And so
yeah,
that, lesson learned, we will make sure that we have that conversation. Like we usually should somebody, but we didn't like demand to speak to the gate, people.
right, right.
Demand's a strong word. We'll ask nicely. But we are going to ask to speak to the gate crew so that they know how to handle his chair.
And then we'll
And
get on a flight, and then we will let you guys know how it goes.
yeah,
Okay?
so yeah, so we're excited, and we have far too many suitcases.
Far too many.
Far too many
Did you
suitcases.
take a picture of it this morning or no?
I don't know what I took a picture. Yeah, I
Okay.
did. I did.
Okay.
Oh my god! Like we needed to get help
So yeah.
because we brought extra mobility devices because of some of the activities we want to do. Some of them don't allow a power chair. Some of them don't allow a wheelchair at all. And so we brought his rollator, which is going to be interesting because he's not used that on travel like that before.
So
So, but it's only for the one thing that we want to do.
so okay.
Yeah, so we will see you when we get there.
Okay. So we are finally got on the plane. We're in our seats. Um, they were almost starting to pre-board before we got to the gate, so we finally made it in time. But now I'm in my seat. I don't think you guys can really see out there. The window's cloudy, so I really can't see. The ground crew is still loading on the items to the plane. So I transferred to out of my chair, but the ground crew was there, so I don't think they came and grabbed it yet. And so now they're starting to board everyone else. It looks like it's going to be a nice flight. So Brooks took away for a second, so I don't know where she went. But I think she is looking to place somewhere in my backpack. But hopefully we will start to get clearance to take off soon. I don't know if you guys can see, but my chair finally came out. We'll see in a minute as they load it. And they're taking it somewhere. Don't lift it up like that.
I know the footage is terrible here, but I wanted you to see how they lift the chair. The good thing here is that somebody is waiting with the chair. We've seen the chair start to roll up the platform, and that obviously isn't good.
There she is, guys. Two people grabbed it and picked it up. They didn't look at the card, so that's fine. But
I moved the card.
Oh, you moved it?
I moved the card to be on the
Back of the chair?
arm
Okay.
so that it would be on the seat so they would have to see it.
Okay. I don't think they read the card. I may have to find some other way to make it more prominent and visible because
How did they lift it?
they just grabbed it from the sides,
Like,
not through the arms, but like on the, I guess, base sides, not front and back, like it's supposed to be lifted. But
I mean,
It's on
as
the
long as
plane.
they lifted it from the bottom,
Yeah.
that's okay.
yeah, so it looks like it's on the plane right now. Looks like all the bags are done because it looks like they're about to turn off the conveyor belt. And so in a couple hours, I will get back with you guys.
To make sure you have all your
Just like that.
belongings and be careful when opening over.
All right, they're lifting it right. And the basket came off. Yeah, he grabbed the basket on the side and it popped off. Sorry for the shaky footage, everybody. Oh, they're gonna carry it. Okay.
Once all the other passengers are off of the plane and they've brought Adam's wheelchair up to the gate, then I get off the plane first. I collect all of our bags and bring them with me. I put the battery back in Adam's chair and test it to make sure everything is working. And then by then, Adam's usually on his way out of the plane in the aisle chair.
This is what I look like after getting Adam off the plane. It's a lot of work, just in terms of getting all the bags. There's a lot of pressure to get off the plane, and we can't really do it quickly, and yeah, it's just a lot. So I'm sitting here in some chairs that I found before going up an elevator to get to the real part, and I'm tired. I'll rally, but this is what this looks like.
So that's the plane we just got off of. But as you can see, all those mountains around us look pretty good. Sorry, we had to sit in the plane for a while because the gate agent wasn't here yet. So we sat in front of. So actually, overall time, we arrived about 15 minutes early, and which is good. The weather's really nice outside, and right now we are headed to the elevator to head upstairs to get our luggage. But so far, that weather's nice, looks great.
As I'm sitting here recovering from all of the baggage handling before I go out to the rest of the airport, Adam and I are wondering, do they have Starbucks in Canada? Are they allowed? Or has Tim Hortons said, not in my neighborhood?
The outside view of the Marriott Pinnacle in downtown Richmond. The actual entrance is down there behind that black SUV. You come under behind that, I guess, I don't know what kind of store that is. It says gifts, but and you can't see, but through the trees, it goes way up there. I think there's 31 floors. Also, I noticed there's a lot of bikes here. A lot of bikes. Ahoy. That's not ahoy. What am I supposed to say?
I don't know.
We're in Canada.
So we made it to Vancouver,
Yes.
and we've arrived at the hotel. Our room's not ready yet.
You checked our luggage. Luggage is being held by whatever the people called. Baggage claim. Not baggage claim.
Are you all right?
I'm hungry. It's been a long
Fair.
morning. Okay.
Our arrival to Vancouver was a little rough.
Yes. It's getting to the airport was fine. We had to find somebody to get our luggage because we have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and that was different than we're used to, right? So
Yeah.
back home, if they have porters and they sort of work for tips and that kind of thing, here the porter was like $35, which at first I was put off by, and then I was like, all right, if that's the cost, that's the cost, and I don't need to feel like I need to tip you because it's $35.
That was different. Yeah, that was different.
That's fine. And we had a lot of things, so that
A
was
lot of big things. Yeah.
we have like 9 bags.
Hopefully we got a photo of it, but I don't remember. Yeah, it's been a long morning.
Bags. So we get to and they took us all the way out to the cab. So that was great.
Also great was they have a lot of accessible cabs. I'm talking, they were like just rolling through. Like every time one leave, one come up. And so that was great.
They had so many accessible cabs. They were using the accessible cabs to take people who didn't need accessible cabs because they have so many.
Yeah.
It took us a while to get one. I don't know. They had us waiting in a different area, so it was a little bit confusing, I will say.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was the fault of the porters or their system's faulty or what. But they told us to stay in this special area that was not where the cabs were, and they kept loading the cabs including accessible ones. Like we had 5 or 6 go by
Right.
that were wheelchair accessible before we got one that came
Right.
to the special area we were in,
Right.
and that special area wasn't marked. So I'm a little confused
Yeah,
about what was
yeah.
happening there. I also know that the porter that was working with us, it was like his second day on the job, so I feel like he might have been a little confused.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we get a cab, and the guy says, we can't take all that luggage. And, you know, it was the same size cab that we came here, that came to the airport from DC.
Washington. Yeah.
So I was like, well, we made it fit on the way here. He's like, no, it's not possible. It's not possible.
It's not possible.
You're going to need to get a second cab, which...
That was like surprising because like, why would I need a second cab to just one for luggage and one for me? Or we'll get to that in a moment. But
so then I said, well, can we put as many as will fit in here? He's like, it's not possible. It's not possible. Which I was like, okay, so you're not willing to take any luggage. That was weird. So meanwhile, the porter, second day on the shop, just starts loading the bags.
Start unloading stuff.
So, yep, great. So he's like, well, I can make this work. And so he starts loading the bags, right? Great.
Yeah.
So then, and I see him like having like all kinds of side eye and like not happy about the fact that we're putting these bags. Now, granted, we didn't put the bags in any way that would seem dangerous to me. Yes, we had bags on seats. We did. Because if you know a wheelchair accessible cab, usually you have to put bags on seats because the whole back part is taken up by the wheelchair.
Right, yeah.
So where else are you going to put the luggage except for on the floor, on the seats, things like that. So we get it. So I get in the van, and I didn't even need to sit up front. And the way here, I sat up front.
Right.
But I, purposely, I did not want to sit next to that man, so I like squished myself in and sat in the back, put on the seatbelt, the whole deal. And then as we're leaving the airport, he proceeds to tell us that it is illegal in Vancouver to have luggage anywhere but the back. And so he could get a ticket if we got stopped.
He would get a ticket. And so that was very...
said, I'm sorry, what? And he, said it again, and I said, so what about, but there's no room in the back for luggage. Are you saying that people in wheelchairs can't have luggage? He was like, well, no, they just have to put it in another cab.
And I was like, that's a racket right there.
I said, I'm sorry.
That's a
what?
racket.
Right? Like, I said, that seems awfully discriminatory. And he's like, yeah, that's the law. That's the law. So, of course, I start looking at, transportation law in British Columbia and Vancouver because, of course, I did.
And looked at Reddit. It's like, she was searching.
So
I saw Brooke was hot. I could see it. She was like, I'm going to prove this man wrong before we get anything else because that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that somebody in a wheelchair has to have a separate vehicle just to transport their luggage.
And then why would he feel the need to other us and shame us for having a wheelchair and luggage? Like, I'm sorry, we have just as much right to take up space as anybody else. What are you doing?
Yeah, it was something.
I was searching and I found the Passenger Bill of Rights. I found all kinds of things. I found no limit to
or bylaws or
on,
anything.
Yeah, not in Canada, not in Vancouver, not in British Columbia. But you know what I did find? I found the official place to make complaints about cabbies.
Yep.
And I sure enough did. I was hot.
It was something because I was trying to talk about the city and he kept going back about talking about it. I was like, well, I was trying to talk about the food. He kept going so I don't know if he was still thinking about it, giving us wrong information, or because I was trying to talk about the food, the culture, the area, because Vancouver itself, the airport is not in Vancouver. It's in the city of Richmond, which is outside of it. But it's okay. That was fine. But
the DC, none of the DC airports are in DC.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. That's true.
There's 3 of DC airports, not one is in DC.
Okay. But yeah, so after that we started talking about those small other things, and then we lapsed into silence. And so, but yeah, that was very interesting.
This man got no tip. This man got just the amount of money that he was, and I also found the rates. Now, granted, I feel like we were in the $37 rate, and he charged us for the 41. I decided to leave that one alone. But oh no, I got pictures of this man's license. I got pictures of his car. I got all.
So
I took pictures. I will put in a picture of what it looked like. It was not that serious. I don't know who was in danger. For the
Right.
fact that we dared
Extra.
to have a suitcase, because how dare you have suitcases? You're disabled. You shouldn't have
Yeah.
to have suitcases.
No. No. So just right now, this has taught us, I think, to
Uber.
just assuming that
To
it's
Uber.
that Vancouver is like a more um, a developed country, that you may want to look at the laws and stuff for that. This has taught us that I need to do that next time. Anywhere I go now, check the laws and rates and everything like that, because we don't know. Hopefully,
I mean, like, in all fairness, I did look up the rules around accessible cabs, and because I do look at those things before we travel. I know you
Okay.
just like to show up.
yes.
And I certainly would have noticed if I saw a law about, you can't have luggage if you have a wheelchair.
Yeah.
I saw laws saying that they had to transport the wheelchairs. And one of the bags that he was complaining about, a wheelchair, because we have backup wheelchairs here. Because we needed to bring a manual wheelchair for this cruise, because some of the excursions we want to do don't
Won't take
allow
my-
a power chair. So we brought a manual
Well,
chair, which was, a little obnoxious to
It's
support, but
heavy.
like, so that is, and it's bulky. Like, it's not heavy, but it's bulky, and so I think that was one of the things he was complaining about. But like, hi,
Yeah.
the Canadian
So-
law says you have to bring it. I was expecting for the cabs to be a little funny about payment. I was binge watching gluten-free, dairy-free's Canada trip before this to find out what I could eat, and just also they provide great
Yeah.
information. And so I was binge watching them this week, and they mentioned that they had found out that the law says they have to take credit cards, because a lot of the cabbies will tell you that they need cash, and that's not the case. And I did, as I was searching, found a lot of things about like cabs trying to charge extra fees for luggage, saying like,
Right.
oh, you must be moving, so here's a $15 moving fee and things like this.
Right.
So I was ready for that. I wasn't ready for wheelchair discrimination,
Which-
and that it pushed
Can't-
some buttons.
Yeah. So
But I am going to move on from that now.
we gotta go find coffee. Actually, it's probably too late for coffee.
I mean, what even time is it?
Yeah, it's probably 4
So
o'clock.
it's 1 o'clock here. It's like bedtime at home. I don't know.
We're gonna find something to eat.
Yeah, we need to find
We're
food.
gonna go decompress a little bit, find something to eat, and then we
And
will.
we got an upgrade to a junior suite in the hotel. So part of why our room's not ready yet is because someone's in that suite. But we got upgraded to an accessible junior suite at the Marriott. So we have that
Yes.
going for us as well. So
Look
good
forward to
things
that.
are happening.
Yes.
It's just,
Off to a rocky start.
yeah,
Or
like
start.
when your transportation from the airport is bad, I feel like it sets a tone for like your opinion of the city. And so right now, my opinion of Vancouver is a little bit low.
So
but
we'll go
I
find
believe
some
we're gonna,
something good to eat.
yeah,
Yeah.
that we're
Yeah.
gonna let them redeem themselves. I'm sure the rest of Vancouver is wonderful. The people in the airport were nice and very friendly, and
Yeah.
all the, as you expect people from Canada to be. And yeah, so I'm just one bad egg.
Okay.
It's all right, but
Yes. So I'm gonna
That's
look
not a
that. I'm
stronger
looking in that
word, letter.
direction because we have to head that way soon.
do
Looks
we?
like
Okay.
yeah, it looks like something's over there. So
okay.
bridge. So we'll head that way and see how the grub is. We will talk to you guys later. Hello, we just left the Dutch. It's like it's IHOP.
It is not IHOP. It is in no way, shape, or form IHOP.
Okay. Elevated IHOP?
No,
Okay.
IHOP is gross.
Okay. It was good.
So after we had our little rant, we went exploring and we ended up at Canada Place, which is a couple blocks from our hotel. And we wanted to find something to eat. And
Yes.
as we were wandering around, we remembered that Brandon and Sarah talked about the Dutch, and because we saw the Dutch on the marquee, we're like, oh, we recognize that place.
Yes.
So I didn't remember what it was. I just remembered that Brandon liked it. Literally, I remembered. So, which meant it had to have potatoes.
Right.
If you watch their content, you'll understand that joke. So we decided to go there. It's all day breakfast basically, and so that's the IHOP reference that Adam was making. But it really is. So it's like Dutch pancakes
Yes.
and
Pankokekin.
no, that's wrong.
Pankokekin.
Panacook?
Kin.
No, it's not kin. It's panacook. Panacook. Panacook.
I
They're
know.
Panacook. No. Loud planes. Very loud planes. Very, very, very loud planes.
Airplane, seaplanes. So I'll try to get some room and get some footage of those. But okay.
So yeah, so we had panacook. I had the hash version with smoked salmon, and you had
Something called the windmill, which is cheese and shaved salmon. It was very good. It was very good. It's
Yeah.
not quite a pancake, thinner than a pancake, thicker than a crepe. But yes, it was very, very good.
yeah. So apparently the tradition is that you like put stuff in the middle and just sort of roll it up, kind of like a burrito. We did a little bit of that. We also wanted to taste the thing by itself, so we didn't quite do it the traditional way.
Yeah.
Very filling, very, very filling. Like surprisingly
Yes.
so. Like when you see it, it's like doesn't seem like
We
much.
may have to
but
hold off a second because the volume was very loud.
Pausing for seaplanes.
Yeah, positive for seaplanes.
So, yeah, it doesn't, when you see it, it doesn't seem like it's going to be all that much, but it's very, very filling, and it was pretty good. So if you're in Canada Place, especially if you need something gluten-free, they can make almost their entire menu gluten-free.
Except the
So-
holiday sauce.
Except for the holiday sauce. So he did specify that.
Yeah.
So, but they have like French toast and all kinds of things. So it's all-day breakfast with a Dutch flair, and it was pretty good. So we would recommend the Dutch.
If you're down here at the seawall, watching seaplanes go by, yeah,
Especially if you're in the mood for all-day breakfast.
yeah. Alrighty. So we're probably gonna head back soon because it's
We are so tired.
tired. So
Like
yeah,
when you consider that I got up at 3 a.m. East Coast, and now it is now
3 p.m. West Coast.
6 p.m. East Coast. Like it's been a long
Yeah.
day. I'm ready to call it. So,
So-
yeah, we're gonna make our way back to the hotel, and but we're looking at seaplanes, and so we will probably do that for another minute or two, and then we're gonna head back to the hotel.
Okay. Got a lot more busy here. Looks like there's a whole bunch of seaplanes in the sky down there coming in. So yeah, it's like a real hopping spot.